Bill, we're going to talk about why you should cruise now and 5 reasons why you should cruise now. But let's hop
Ooh,
to the chat and say good morning to some people here. Boom, boom. Just Cody, my friend. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Thank you for making it in. Jimmy, welcome on in, my friend. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Scott and Bill. If you guys have a moment to check out Jimmy's live from this morning, we actually went live this morning with Sean from the Down Under Cruisers and
I
Helping
saw
Hand.
that.
And it was a really good live. It was a real fun live
It
meeting
was.
Sean. And Jimmy's show is always a great show. So thanks for having me on, Jimmy. And I know also in the future, too, I know once I get back from my next cruise, we are going to end up doing either a morning live or maybe an afternoon live, just Jimmy and myself. So look forward to that.
Sweet.
Good morning, everyone. Smash that like button. Thank you, Jimmy. June, good morning. Good morning. Just got a good text from Brady that connecting flight, all good. So set to meet him in just a few hours here, a few hours time. Big Mama Raid. Good morning, Keisha. Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome in, everyone.
Everyone. Oh, we got Big Mama herself coming in. Big Mama Raid, Betty J. Gathers, the one and only.
Betty was being so nice. She cut her live short for us today. I feel special.
She really did. She really did. Because I know I was listening to the last 5 minutes and she said, I know I'm going to go over. And I know she probably could have went another half an hour. So thank you, Betty, for the raid. And thank you for cutting your show short for us. Good morning, Keisha. Hearts from us all around. Let's see here. Oh, chat. Good morning. A lot of people saying good morning to Bill and Betty.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rooted. Good morning, Famous. Good morning, Bill and Scott. Trish the Natural. Hello, Warm, Strong Adventures, Controversial Cruising. Good morning, good morning. There you go. Brady is in Chicago. You're all going to have the best time. And we are. We absolutely are. We're going to get to exactly what we're talking about in this show, too. So, Big Mama Raid, that's right.
You've been up a long time today.
I have. We get some hearts. I think we are almost down to the chat. I have been up. It was a interesting and unique opportunity this morning to hop on Jimmy's live. There was a little confusion this morning, but confusion happens, and we just go with it and roll with it. But Sean actually was hosting the show, and he said, "No, have Scotty come up." So I came up. We had a very nice conversation. I love what Sean does with Helping Hands for Cruises, Down Under Cruisers, and Bill. Actually, Australia is on my bucket list as far as bucket list cruises for me. So
Sweet.
I definitely want to get out there to the Down Under and not only meet Sean, but definitely visit Australia and also cruise there from there too as well. But I have been up for quite some time because I am actually going on a ship that you previously sailed on, the Carnival Luminosa.
You're going to love it. Is this your first time to Alaska?
This is my first time to Alaska. Yes.
You're going to love it. I'm telling you. There's just the sights. Have your camera, have your binoculars ready. The sights that you're going to see, it's going to be something that you remember the rest of your life. You'll be telling your grandkids about it.
I have two pairs. I have 2 pairs of binoculars, one for Brady, one for myself in case he didn't bring one. So I can't wait. And I'm hoping to not only see the Northern Lights maybe, but I'm really hoping to see some wildlife too. I know that this is kind of a really big cruise for wildlife, very different than Caribbean cruises and seeing pier runners and, drunk people at the bar and, all that.
Right. Something a little different.
Yes. Did you get to see wildlife actually when you went to Alaska?
I did. I didn't see any bears, but I did see whales, some bald eagles and things like that from a distance. Well, the bald eagles were a little closer, but that was the majority of what I saw.
Absolutely. I mean, it's still good though, because even if you still saw it from afar, still saw it from binoculars, you were still able to close your eyes and still go back to that point and see it visually. So that's the amazing part about it. Z has just made it on in. Welcome on in, Z.
Welcome in, Z.
Grandma UTI has made it on in. Good evening from
Grandma Udi,
Indonesia.
welcome in.
See here. Brady has no binoculars, but he has my camera with awesome zoom. That's right. He told me he would bring the camera.
And you need it. I mean, some of the pictures he's going to get, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it was honestly a unique scenario how I'm actually traveling to Alaska. This episode is not about that. However, we went over that, I believe, in last week's. And if you check my page too, I went in depth of exactly why I'm going on this Alaska cruise. But however, for this week, while I'm in Alaska, make sure to check out my page too here, and you'll see some wonderful things like Bill is saying. So I'm going to try to vlog them and get them up in real time as fast as I can, so I can show you guys and share with you guys the amazing Alaska journey that I'll soon be embarking on here.
I will be looking forward to it.
Thank you. But as far as today goes, Bill, 2023 cruising as a whole, right, is kind of back to, let's say, 2019 numbers as far as capacity goes, as far as ships availability goes and sailing out. I mean, we saw the startup kind of slow, but what are some of your thoughts as far as the cruise numbers now and demand as of now?
I think it's coming back. I think it's coming back strong. I think it was a lot of pent up desire to cruise and vacation and go see other places. And I think we're starting to see that now. I think that's well, I mean, we're getting in here like our topic for the day: 5 reasons to cruise now. There's some reasons because the demand is growing.
And you want to know what? I think more so than not, especially in 2023, I think more new cruisers, or let's just say novice cruisers, those are the ones that are kind of like popping their head up and I think really piquing their interest and maybe even booking that first or second cruise because they've had cousins or aunts or uncles or friends or family go on cruises and say, wow, this is such an amazing experience that my cousin had. I kind of want to try it too. And now might be the time to try it.
Well, and I think YouTubers, us, people in our community have a lot to do with that. They see these vlogs and see the fun that we're having and the fun that can be had on these cruise ships. I think that people have a misunderstanding of what cruising is. They see the old shows and think cruising is one way, and when they get on the ship, it's like totally different.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm actually really glad that you touched on that point too about cruise vloggers and YouTubers, because I think as far as cruising and YouTube and that industry goes, there's been kind of a lot of influx of new YouTubers that have come into the space, especially just since you've started. And you've started what, like a year and a half ago, year and 6, 7 months ago?
Yeah, in March of 2022.
Right. And you've seen from that point to now so many new YouTubers, including myself, that have come into the game, kind of.
You see it, yeah. I mean, you see it all the time. You see people coming in and then people stopping, and I mean, you kind of see it all. But it's good, like people like yourself coming in so enthusiastic, and you have a good grasp of what you want and how to do it. It makes it fun to watch because you have a unique taste or unique take on YouTube. And since we're in cruising, unique take on cruising.
Yes, thank you, thank you. I think we both share that. But do you think that the kind of like that YouTube and that kind of experience now that it's kind of growing, do you think that attains to the rising numbers as far as bookings go, or do you think it's just a coincidence?
No, no, I think it has a lot to. I think it has a lot to do with, again, like I said, people are watching YouTube and they're starting to realize how much fun a cruise is. And I mean, I don't want to get too far into it because we're going to get into our reasons of why it's of cruising, but
Yep.
um, I think it's an amazing time to be out there cruising, and YouTube is a big part of that because I can remember, like, during the pandemic, me watching all these cruising videos. It's like I couldn't cruise, and I'm watching all these cruising. I mean, oh man, I can't wait. I'm watching old videos, and I mean, I'm like, I couldn't wait to get back to cruising. Never thought about doing a YouTube channel at that time, but again, I couldn't wait to get back to cruising.
Yes, me too. And yes, thank you, Betty, because I paid for the StreamYard now and we're all hooked up. So I took that dip before I went on my cruise.
Look at you, big time.
Welcome in, Traveling Check. Thank you for coming on it. It's like Betty heard me. She gave me the thumbs up.
Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
All good. We appreciate you, Traveling Check. AR Guns, welcome on in. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Elliot, welcome in.
Oh boy, it's been hot here since July, AR Guns. I don't know.
Ah, it's summertime.
In Arizona. Rock the boat. Hello, everyone. Rock the boat. I know I'm going to hear that on this group, so I'm not going to sing it out. Rock the boat, baby. But yes, welcome on in. Welcome on in. So let me just share this actually real quick before we get any further. Let me just share some numbers from the Googs, the good old Googs here. So we can kind of all read this together as it pops up. Boop. Let me just pop this. Nope, nope, that's me. There we go. Okay, so I am going to read this real fast. It says cruise passenger volume is forecasted to reach 106% of 2019 levels in 2023, with 31.5 million passengers expected to sail. This number is to increase to 39.5 million by 2027. And that's exactly why our topic is what it is: 5 reasons to cruise now. And to piggyback on that, as we go down here a little bit, for 2023, the passenger capacity is forecasted to grow another 18% with the full fleet sailing. So stop sharing that there. Basically just Google searches. But I thought that was, whoa. I thought that was pretty interesting as far as statistics go for cruising.
Yeah, the number, that jump from now to, what was that, 27? That's an amazing number. I mean, I didn't think it was that big. I didn't look up the numbers, but that number was amazing. I mean, you're talking 20-30% jump increase. Are we going to see more ships? What are we going to see here, Scott?
And and that's all over every single company. That's not just Carnival. That's
Right.
that's in every cruising company within the industry. So a few more people coming on in. Welcome in, Mona. Welcome on in, my friend from my past fitness life that we actually share cruising interest together. She is a big Royal Caribbean cruiser, and we are
Sweet.
hopefully hop on a Royal Caribbean cruise next year. Maybe Clocks, maybe a different one. So we
Hopefully clocks.
let's see here. I'm back at work. The boss came back into the office. I've done that so many times.
Shh, we won't tell anybody.
Arizona is too hot. Yeah, so that is true. Very true. Talking to each other, making sure I don't miss anybody. So we get down here to the chat because we've had a lot of people come in and out. And of course, if you are ending up watching this on a replay, we do fully appreciate that. We know that this is a different time than we normally go on. We are here in the morning. We are normally here in the afternoon. But myself, I am traveling to Seattle to get on the Carnival Luminosa. So Bill has so nicely agreed to move our show up here to the morning. And thank you so much for everybody who is watching live and then who ends up watching on the replay. So with that said, I just want to kind of piggyback off that kind of Royal Caribbean, because I know you and I, Bill, are big Carnival cruisers. But one
Yes, sir.
that I think is doing really well in kind of connecting the dots is Royal Caribbean, because they're now starting to come out with these Oasis class ships and bigger, even bigger ships now, like the Oasis of the Seas and also the Utopia of the Seas, which will be released next year. That we'll both be on. So
It's been Royal Caribbean has been leader of the pack since 2009. By the time when they came out with Oasis class ship, they've been the leader of the packs. It's so bad now. I mean, they're so so far into the future. Their next mega ship, the newest ship, the brand new ship that any other cruise line would be a priority. Their longer cruises, 7-day, 10 days cruises. They're bringing out the Utopia, going on 3 and 4 day cruises. So now they're gonna hit this market where you got people that don't want to cruise or want to just do little weekend cruises, able to get on these incredible ships. It's amazing. Royal Caribbean, my hat's off to Royal Caribbean.
there's going to be people waiting to get on that ship when they realize that they missed the opportunity to cruise now, or at least book it now for next year. They think, oh, I got time, until they went to go book it and it's sold out for 2 years, 2.5 years, because everybody wants to experience this really large, massive ship.
Well, that's the funny part. 2009, I love cruising. Oasis came out and the price was so high. I'm like, man, I can't afford that. I'm not going to do that. And I kept putting it off. I'm finally going on Oasis class ship next year in 2024. But then they bring out their newest ship is a 3-dayer. Just think if they had that back in my day, I would have went on that because it would have been half the price of what I was going to pay. I mean, it's same price I would have paid for a Carnival cruise, but now again, not as long. But I'm on the biggest, nicest ship in the world for 3 days. I can't wait.
You can't
Mike
be
Clark,
bored.
I can't wait to be on your group cruise.
I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to find something to do. I'm not going to sleep. I have 3 days. I'm like, oh, I got to see. Well, I can't see everything, but the most that I possibly can. Right. So
I don't think I'm getting off the ship. I'm going to, we stop at 2 ports. I don't think I'm getting off the ship. We stop in Nassau and we stop in Coco Cay or Coco Key. Coco, depends on how you pronounce it.
If you find a hiding spot on the ship, I'll hide with you. I won't say a word. We'll just.
Oh, I'm not gonna hide. I'm talking about. I'm just staying on. I'm not getting off the ports. Well, when they throw me off, I'm gonna get off. I don't want to get walked off in handcuffs.
Everyone, be sure to hit that like button for a fresh cookie. Thank you, Cody. We appreciate that. I use the free one. Have thought about paying. Let's see. Oh, and magnificent Germany with Darian has made it in. Welcome on in, my friend. Thank you for coming on in. Jimmy is switching back and forth. Boom. Yes. So I do know that you and I will be on that group cruise next year, September 13th through the 16th. And if anybody is interested in joining Bill and myself, please reach out to Bruce at Ocean to Ocean Travel for more information. Would love to cruise with you guys. But as far as getting further into our episode here, let's dive deeper into our title and 5 reasons to cruise now, because I think we have probably more than 5, Bill, between you and I, 10 that we're going to share. But our top 5, what would you say? I'm going to let you start this off. What is your number 5 reason that you would cruise right now?
Well, and again, we're going to stop. Our best is going to be for the last, so you have to stick around and hear the best. Yes. But for me, one of my 5th one would be the health protocols now. I mean, now they put a priority on cleanliness, and that's a big thing when you're on a cruise ship and that close to people for that long a time. You want the ship to be clean, and I mean, with the protocols, they do a lot of cleaning. They also you used to have to do this thing called the muster drill, where you all had to go before any ship can leave out. You have to go find out where your lifeboat is, and they give you a briefing how you use your life jacket. It's called a muster drill. You used to have to go out and stand out in the sun and wait for them to do this drill, wait for everybody on the ship because everybody on the ship has to do it to get into this one spot to hear this drill. Well, now you can do it at your own pace. When you get on the ship, you go there. They show you how to put the life jacket on. Any questions? No, and you're gone. So anyway, the pandemic it really helped streamline the boarding process. Everything is done electronically now, and people are used to that. So I think now, because of the health protocols, now is a great time to start cruising. It makes it so easy.
I didn't even think about the cleanliness. Honestly, to tell you the truth, you're absolutely right. Every ship that I've stepped on post pandemic has been absolutely spotless and clean.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the high priority before you go to the restaurants. Here they're putting in new, stations to wash your hands, the sanitizer all around the ship. Everybody's reminding you to, wash your hands, use sanitizer. And I mean, I think it's big because even though, because of the pandemic, well, again, I don't want a cold either. I don't want the flu either. So, I mean, this just helps out just all around to get rid of the cruise crud, as they call it.
And tell you the truth, even at Margaritaville at the Sea, as soon as you got up from the bar or anywhere, there was somebody else wiping it down, and there was
Yeah.
people all around. So kudos to Margaritaville at Sea. I know Carnival and Royal, they all have that too, and it's really heightened. I didn't even think about that though, so that's a really good one. Let's see, and everybody, please in the chat too, if you have one or two or three that you would like to share, 4 or 5, please let us know why you think it's a great time to cruise now and why you're cruising now. So June just shared one here, which made me think of it. She said, "We are cruising right now because of the pricing. I know her and Brady get a lot of those similar deals that you get, Bill. Maybe better, maybe worse, same deal, but they're cruising a lot because of those deals. And Carnival is actually coming forward and giving those deals because they weren't for a while." And so my number 5, going to kind of echoing kind of how I opened this show, is cruising is catching popularity. And whether it be YouTubers and vloggers helping that experience, whether it's families going on experiences and friends and family sharing those experiences, cruising is gaining popularity faster than ever before, faster, and it's growing interest faster than I've ever seen before, because I've started cruising when I was really young, but as of 21, I have never seen the growth in interest in cruising than I have in 2023 now. And I'll just give you a quick story. I have a buddy, a coworker, ex-coworker, who is going on with me on my very next cruise on the Valor, and it took him, I would say, about a year of texting back and forth. "Oh, I see you on these cruises. This is awesome. Super cool. Following you on Snapchat." And about 4 months ago, he hit me up. 5 months ago, he was like, "I'm ready." "Ready for what?" "I'm ready to go on your next cruise." I'm like, "You don't even know where it's going." He's like, "I don't care. I'm ready." Okay, I got a really good one, really good first cruise. My group cruise, 4-day. We're going to go to Cozumel, back. It's awesome. Where do I send the money? So it's gaining more and more popularity because 2 years ago, he wasn't even in the conversation. He was just
Right.
watching my stories. So cruising is gaining popularity day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. So that's my number 5.
And you know what? And I don't know whether it's because it's like if you buy a red car, all of a sudden you notice all the red cars out there. Well, now that I'm back to cruising, I don't know whether it's cruising is so popular now because I want to cruise so much, and every time I see something, oh, cruise, oh, commercial for cruising, I look at it, or is it really gaining? The numbers you gave earlier proves that it's not my imagination. More people are out here trying to cruise.
Yes, it's 110% true. And I thought the same exact thing, but then I looked up the numbers, and I'm just like, there's growth here. There's growth, not even just as far as revenue wise, but again, that interest in kind of becoming that new cruiser or kind of starting your cruise journey. So let's see. Oh, see.
Embarkation Nation, welcome in.
Welcome on in. Welcome on in.
Bud Files, welcome in.
Bud Files, welcome on in. You're doing a great job at keeping up with the chat today, guys. I'm so proud of myself.
Look at you.
I'm getting better. Morning, Bud Files. Oh, I meant to show it. Morning, Bud Files. Okay, so Bill, your number 4 reason to cruise right now, what would that be?
And I don't, again, this is like going back to the me buying a red car and all of a sudden seeing red cars. These, I don't know, it seems like the world has shrunk because I'm looking at the itineraries of all these ships now. You can travel the entire world cruising now. I mean, literally just every place in the world. So these new itineraries on these ships, and I don't know whether it's because 20 years ago, I never noticed it. Now I notice the Antarctica cruises, which I'm trying to book, and things like that. And going to Australia, going to Tahiti, going to Asia, going to all these other places. I never noticed that before, but these new itineraries and with all these ships coming out, they need places to put them. So I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of brand new itineraries coming out soon, and I can't wait. I mean, I'm traveling the world on a cruise ship. I can't wait.
And yeah, I mean, that's exactly where you're at in your cruising journey. Granny filming, welcome on in to
Hey,
welcome
Granny, welcome in.
Keisha, I believe I said hello before, but welcome on in. If I didn't and then missed that chat, sorry. Honest to goodness, my mailman just came back from a cruise because I hyped him up so much. He and his wife loved it. Yes. Yes. See, those are the types of things that get me going. I love that. I love that.
It really is.
Such a great feeling. Oh, welcome in, Felicia. Welcome in.
Hey, Felicia. I see Felicia in about 66, 67 days. She's going to be on the booze cruise.
Ooh, yes. Okay. So perfect. Awesome. Number 4. So I think to kind of piggyback off that a little bit, I'm going to go with one of kind of the most obvious as far as what I just shared as numbers wise. My 4 is as demand rises, guess what else is going to rise? Prices.
Let's see. Prices through the roof.
That's right. And we're not talking about necessarily right now, right? But if you sit back and wait and you're like, oh, okay, I can book that cruise in 7 or 8 months, A, the availability is not going to be there, or B, that cruise is going to be double or triple what you saw it was 7 months ago because the demand is now out the roof for that particular booking, that particular ship, that particular line, whatever it may be. So House of X, welcome on in. Welcome on in.
Hey, House of X.
Says hello to you both. So that's a great reason to cruise now. And I know Bill has said this many, many times on different lives. Booking early and booking now, right? And we're not necessarily talking about like cruising now, right? Necessarily like what I'm doing, like cruising today. But if you put a deposit on a cruise, right, for let's say 2025 or 2024, I consider you cruising now. You have taken the jump. You have taken the commitment, right? At least a little commitment to say, I'm going to go on that booking. I've locked in that price. This is my price. This is what I have to pay. Boom, there's your agreement. Now you have a final payment. You make payments. You make one big payment at the end, whatever you want to do. But at least you have that price locked in and you're not going to get a surprise. I don't know, 2 months later when you go to look it up and you're like, oh, I can't go now.
Exactly. You lock it in now because the prices aren't going to do anything but go up. With the numbers you showed that, hey, we're going to be getting all these new passengers coming out. The price and demand. It's going to go up eventually.
Because they know people are going to pay for it, especially the new cruisers who don't know what the prices were before, what to expect. $3,000 for a 4-day cruise. Awesome. Cool. Here, take my card. So, okay. I mean, not that's being a little dramatic, but However, you know
I
that
hope so.
the prices are gonna rise because the demand is here. Popularity is booming around cruising and vacationing, and people are seeing that it's really an awesome way to spend a few days. So let's make sure anybody else didn't come in here. Let me slip in. That's Embarkation Nation. Welcome on in. I saw a different color. Trying to be real good and stay up on top of these chats. Pop you guys up there, even if you guys are saying hello. Okay. Awesome. So, Bill, what is your next reason to cruise?
I know I come off as a little grumpy at times, but I'm not really grumpy, people. I'm not really. My number three, cruising is so romantic. I mean, it's like things out of a dream. You're on this cruise. Have you ever had a date and you go up on the deck in the middle of the night when it's just like as dark, all you can see is like skies and well, some of the lights from the ship. But I mean, my goodness, you go to these exotic locations. I mean, you can't ask for a better. I mean, you could, but you can't get a better romantic little getaway. Even a 3-day getaway to Nassau and the sights that you can see. I mean, to me, it's like one of the most romantic dates that you can have.
I just pictured a 7-day Alaska cruise and the date and maybe possibly meeting that someone on this cruise. But that was just a daydream. Sorry.
Oh, people are a little more focused on Alaska. People are a little more focused on the cruise. So, Scott, I don't know how lucky you're going to get on this one.
I actually have never, so I've never actually brought a significant other on a cruise. I've cruised with a lot of friends before. I've cruised with, okay, maybe I guess potential girlfriends, but not actual real girlfriends. So, but Bill is absolutely.
I mean, you can still be romantic with a potential girlfriend, or you can get romantic with a friend.
Of course. And I think really, more so what you mean, there's so many activities to do as like a romantic couple. I mean, taking in the scenery and the ports, of course, but you have things like the steakhouse that you can go together. You can go to the shows together, and it's like, you're sitting there and
they have a couple massages.
Well, there you go.
I'm telling you, man. Talk to me off air. Talk to me off air. We'll work it out.
Bill's number 3, soon to come off air. Oh, look at this. Embarkation said, LOL, grumpy.
People they'll call me grumpy. I'm not grumpy just because I speak my mind. I'm not grumpy. Anywho.
But he said, oh God, I need to come up there right now. Oh boy, love in the air. Oh God. Oh, Betty, you're so funny.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Love can start in Alaska. That's right. It's just the tip of the iceberg.
It could. I mean, really, you're going to be taken aback at the sites that you're looking at. I mean, when you see the fjords and the glaciers and stuff like that, you're going to be taken aback. You're going to be like, man, I've only dreamed of this. And I could imagine, having somebody there that you're romantically involved with. I mean, that would just intensify that moment, I don't know. I don't know where this conversation is going. I mean,
well, I did hear also too, not to spoil it, but I did hear that my cruise numbers are sold out. So my buddy had texted me and said, get ready for a pretty packed cruise. And I thought it was not going to be packed because the last couple cruises have not been packed. So, yay!
Yeah, but that's going to be because the ship handles the crowd well. I think mine was my Alaska cruise was pretty crowded. It was like the first. As a matter of fact, it was like the first cruise to Alaska. The ship handles the crowd well.
You said Granny filming and gets it. It's the passion on this subject in his voice. That's you, Bill.
But it is. I'm telling you, people. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Late night. Don't get a balcony. Oh my. Don't get a balcony. Don't get a balcony. Out there with the moonlight, the wine. Don't get a balcony, people. I mean,
okay. So I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in before we get like xed out here for going too deep into the R-ratedness. We're gonna go into my number three, and my number three for reasons, 5 reasons to cruise right now. Number three for me is new ports and great ports. And kind of piggybacking off what Bill said before, right? There's going to be new and different ports. He's in a different cruise, a journey in his cruise. So he's looking for these bucket list cruises. However, even in the Caribbean, there's going to be new ports popping up. And perfect example of one of these in the last couple of years is Bimini, Bahamas. When I first started cruising after 21, there was no Bimini, Bahamas. There was hardly even Freeport. It was Freeport and Nassau. That was it. Nassau was the biggest one, as we know, Atlantis and all that. However, Bimini in the last couple years has popped up as a new and upcoming port. A lot of you go there now. It is a small island, but you can rent a golf cart. You can go and hang out at a local bar. It has a few beaches that you can go to. It has a resort. Lovey's Fat Life just actually went on the same cruise that I went on to visit Bimini. He's got great videos of Bimini and the resort. I did not get any of those because I did not have a YouTube channel then. But if you want to see Bimini and exactly what I'm talking about, these are smaller ports that are going to start being introduced so that we can visit them. And the money that we spend in these ports are going to start to build them up. You're going to start to visit Bimini in a few years, and you're going to start to see some things that may or may not have been there when you first went there, because now the money is pumping into the economy, and now it's building up those ports. You'll see more shopping, more bars, more restaurants. I mean, have you been to Bimini yet, Bill, or no?
I have,
Okay.
and oh, I loved it. I loved it. It's a small, kind of personal port. You know, it's not the big port that you see like in like Nassau, and a lot of vendors there trying to sell you stuff. They do have a few, but you go to the beach, you go to the beach club there. I was lucky enough. I knew somebody. The person I was with knew somebody on there that was a cab driver. So we got him, and he took us around the island and showed us all the local places. And Bimini, it's people are gonna love it. I mean,
It's great.
it's the way cruising kind of used to be at some of the ports. I'm assuming like the more people that go there, the more it's going to be commercialized. But right now, I mean, it's a great place to go.
Yep. And more ports are going to pop up like that. Bigger ones, smaller ones. It's just going to happen. And even bucket list cruise ports, like Bill was talking about earlier, as the demand grows, they're going to start to add these places because, like Bill said, where are the ships going to start to go? Because you can only have a certain amount of ships per port, per day, per week, per month, etc. So that is my number 3 reason why to cruise now. Let's see. This is Us TV made us want to go to Bimini. Yeah, it's a great little new port for sure, and great time to go and visit it now.
A lot of people fly over from Florida. They have like a flight that comes over there because it's probably as close as to the states as you can get, and they fly over there just for the weekend. A lot of college students fly over there for the weekend. It's a fun port,
Yep. And
a
if you
fun
see
fun place.
going to the resort, there's places that I'm sure that are Airbnbs now or rentals for the week that all come with the golf cart, and you can
Yep.
see them all. You can see them all. So true, very true. All right, and okay, so going to number 2, that would be you, Bill. What is your number 2?
It's going to kind of piggyback on some of the things we were talking about, but for me, it's about life adventures, and with all these ships coming out, when now you're going to be able to combine, and I hope they do this where more. I know Alaska does it where they combine like land tours with cruising, and in Alaska they do that, and I'm assuming that it's going to happen more and more across the world, where you go to Australia, and here's the Australian cruise plus the land cruise.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's we're talking like bucket list type deals, not just going on a cruise and leaving a port at 5 p.m., but spending the night, 1 or 2 nights in a location where you get to experience the culture, where you get to experience the nightlife, where You get to see people like in their own communities. Um, to me, I mean, it seems like it's getting to be more of that now than what it used to be. It used to be here's the port, go do our our excursions, and come right back to the ship. But now I think it's becoming more immersed into the culture of the places that we go to, which I love. I love that now with this new cruising era.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, I think one of here Jimmy Buffett, here's a free tip from controversial cruising. If let's just, for instance, say Margaritaville at sea had a Margaritaville at land in Freeport. Right when you got off the ship, you can walk from sea to land. Margaritaville,
Right.
you can walk with a cocktail in your hand from the sea, connect it with the one at land, and sit down, have coconut shrimp, look out at the wonderful sea and nautical views that are there, because there is already a, I don't know whether it's an older restaurant or an older house, but there's a big establishment there that I could just look at and see, like, wow, that could be Margaritaville at sea or on land, similar to what
Think
kind of they have in Nassau.
think about being able to use your drink package at the restaurant.
Bingo. How
I
many
mean,
people?
people would love it.
Oh my! People would come on and buy 3 or 4 drink packages, 2 for the ship and 2 for the land.
They would. You got to eat. You should email them. Let them know you got an idea.
Right? And even the one in Nassau where they have the slide that goes down and pops you out into the ocean.
Yeah.
I I see there's like a little dock space there at the back. I'm like, what? How has he not? How is he not? And yeah, there is going to be. I know I'm probably going to speak this into existence 2 years later. We're going to be like, wow, yeah, they did it. But
You heard it first here, people.
you did. You heard it here first. You did. But more and more ports are going to start connecting those dots, Bill, and going to start connecting the land excursions with the sea experience to make it this total package, right? That's kind of it.
But that's what again, cruising again. It's amazing now. If people knew what cruising was like back in the day, it wasn't bad, and it served its purpose. But now you're almost like overwhelmed. It's like when you get on a cruise ship, we're talking about in 3 or 4 days, you can't even see everything on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
I mean, how big of a ship do you have to be that in 3 or 4 days you can't take in everything on that cruise ship? I mean, the cruising it's amazing now.
Yep. It really is. It really is. So let's see. My number 2. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so this one's going to be sort of kind of tough for us. However, I know I'm talking to the mass population here, but I think cruising. Well, you want to know what? I'm sorry. This is still could pertain to us because this doesn't have to mean digitally. However, it is a great way to disconnect, right? So many of us have so many things going on in our life, right? We deal with so
Yeah.
many different stressors, right? And of course, we know vacations, right, are here to lessen our stress. But however, right, it's a real way to disconnect from not only social media, not only your phone, right, but from those life responsibilities, not forgetting about life responsibilities, not forgetting about kids, not forgetting about any of that. But, right, you're able to disconnect from that for 5 days, 7 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, whatever it is, right? So you can go back energized to whatever your life, living less stress, right? Because you've taken this vacation and a chance to really disconnect. Because when you're at sea, even if you think you're not going to buy the Wi-Fi package and oh, I'm going to find Wi-Fi, you're not going to find Wi-Fi, right? Or you're going to find the circle. You're going to put your phone down. You're going to forget. You're going to be present. It just cruising forces you to be present. There's so many people around, right? Somebody's going to turn to you. Oh, hey, how are you? You enjoying your cruise? And honestly, if you're not going to talk to me or you're going to be one of those grumpy people, you're probably going to be in your room and you're not going to be out socializing. So, and you're going to be disconnecting in your own way, which is completely fine. If you want to disconnect and go on a cruise and hang out in your room and just disconnect, you can do that. I'm not saying anything wrong with it. Right? A real way to disconnect. So let me ask you this, Bill, as far as YouTube vlogging, and I know all that, right? Not talking about technology, but how do you disconnect on a cruise?
You know what? And I see this is one where I want to kind of disagree with you.
Mhm.
Before it used to be a true disconnection. You
Yeah.
had no internet, you had no TV, you had the people on the ship, people, in your cabin, and that was it. Now, there is, you see a lot of people on the cruise ship, they don't disconnect. And I think they're doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah.
Cut off the Wi-Fi for a little bit. I know, and we're YouTubers, so I understand we're going to be filming a lot and this, but even YouTubers, put the camera down. Go to the piano bar without the camera and enjoy the music, enjoy yourself, disconnect. And that is a big part of it. And on a cruise ship, that's one of the places where you truly can disconnect if you want to.
Yes. If you want to, and that is your choice. That's exactly what I was about to say. Welcome in, Bama, to
Hey, mama.
welcome out, welcome on in. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything that anybody shared about 5 reasons why they want to cruise. I'm sure it's just saying. Let's see. Rock Vote said now it's about going on the cruise for the ship instead of the ports. The ships are becoming as big a draw as the ports. That's perfect point. Great point. 110%. And let's see here. Jennifer says, I do agree with your statement, Bill. And yeah, it is. I think it's 110% by choice whether you want to disconnect. However, I still think if you want to, the choice is there for you to be able to disconnect. I think we don't, but the opportunity presents itself. And like I said, there's many ways that we can disconnect. And I'm
Yeah.
going to remember this, and I'm going to have Bill in my ear when I'm on the cruise that says, put your phone down and go to the piano bar without your phone. Because that's truly something like that, an activity like that is a way for me to disconnect and be
Well,
there.
one of the things is it's people in general now with the cell phones and everything like that. You ever go to a concert and
Oh,
everybody has the phone up, videotaping the concert? They got to put the phone down and enjoy the concert
concert from these eyes rather
from
than
these eyes. I mean, you can watch it. You can watch it from anybody on video, but this is you being live in the moment,
yep,
and that's why when you go on these cruises, go walk down the beach, walk a little further than where everybody else is at, and isolate yourself, and just sit there and listen to the ocean. Really listen to it without all the music playing in the background, without all the people and kids yelling and screaming. Go disconnect, go away from everybody, and see how peaceful that is.
yep. These are lenses too. Don't forget, these and
That
these are lenses too, right? So
the biggest video recorder you have is right here. I
bingo,
mean, the memories.
bingo, bingo. Let's see, Billy. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think disconnecting if you want to. I think we all find a different way to disconnect. But Bill, you've brought up some really good points about that. So yeah, I mean, this is a reason why we do this. I learn to as I'm going live. Bill learns. We all learn.
It
This is
is.
why we do this.
Oh, I told you, I really enjoy these conversations. I mean, and it's for me, it's unique. I think we give our conversations have been like a unique take on cruising that you don't hear every day. You don't see a lot of videos on it. I mean, you just at least I don't. I mean, again, maybe I'm haven't found them on YouTube yet, and I really appreciate the take that we have.
Yes.
Um, I look forward to these days, Scott. I really do.
I do too. I do too. And I hope everybody in the chat does too. I know, again, we were on at a very different time. And I know we're going to get a lot of people coming in on the replay. So, again, I do want to thank everybody that has come in live and everybody that is going to continue to watch this as it grows and it lives on this video. So, this live. So, I want to, let's see here. Let's give us a little. We have made it to number one.
We're number one. We're um, my number one. I'm going to piggyback off of Rock the Boat. My
Okay.
number one now is it's going to kind of go away from the disconnect. These ships now are incredible. The ships have become the destination a lot of times for me. These newer ships, they're unbelievable. People, I don't know. Most of you probably cruise in here. So you're probably used to it. But again, who would have thought back from the day when I started cruising that you're going to have race cars, roller coasters, ice rinks, rock climbing walls, uh, surfing simulators, movie theaters, all on a cruise ship? Comedy, all these comedy clubs. I mean, now Carnival has two or three comedy shows a night.
Yep.
I mean, who would have thought this? Now the ship has become become one of the destinations, and people, now is the time to cruise because of these ships, and I'm assuming it's only going to get better. But the ships, for me, I mean, my goodness, there's just so many things. The solariums, I mean, just everything you would possibly want. All the different types of food that you would want is right there, all in one place, all in one hotel room that's taking you from paradise in the Bahamas to paradise in Grand Turk to paradise in Cozumel. I mean, all in one place. And my goodness, cruising it's a great time to cruise now on these newer ships.
Yeah. And even if you, let's say, you didn't have the expenses to get off at the ports, you felt like you didn't want to get off because you didn't have the money or you didn't feel safe or whatever the reason was that you didn't want to get off the ship, there's so much to do on these ships that you could stay on the entire day and forget about it. You'd forget, I mean, you wouldn't forget that you were in a tropical place, but you would be have so much to do that you would just be entertained still because these bigger ships, they are fine with that. How are you going to see everything anyway in 3 days or 4 days, like you said?
No, it's to me, it's amazing. I look at these ships and I'm amazed, and that's why when people ask what kind of ship do you like, I was on somebody's live last night, Ocean Ocean. Do you like, I think it was Ocean Ocean. Anyway, do you like smaller ships, mid-sized ships, or larger ships? Give me the larger ship because I like walking from end to end and trying to see what I can see and experiencing the ship. Now it does take away from the ports, but I love these ships now. I never would have imagined all these the things that we can do on ships now. I never would imagine.
Yep. Granny
I
said,
heard,
"That's right.
I
Be in the moment."
I heard somebody was even fishing off the back of one of the ships.
Yeah, I saw that.
You're not supposed to do that, people. But I mean, again, but again, people do it. Hey, they do it.
They do. They do. June says, "Love you both. We love you. We love you."
Oh, June, love you. Mm.
See, what did rock the boats I have taken to filming with the camera pointed to the side of me so I can see stuff for myself and still get footage. I like that. That's cool. I like that. Good tip, rock the boat. 'Cause, yeah, these are the biggest lenses. So my number one, without any further ado, and it may be kind of obvious, but it may not be. I think the reason to cruise now is because it is the best value vacation that you can get for either yourself or your family. And let me elaborate what I exactly mean with that, right? You have an opportunity to get on a ship that is going to hit three, four, two ports within your itinerary. Whereas if you were to visit each one of those places individually and fly in Uber or taxi or whatever, you would be spending boatloads more money to do so. And you would also have to pay for things like travel, for things like food, for things like gasoline, where you don't have to work. You have already paid for those things up front with the cruise fare, right? You can spend a day in Cozumel, get back on the ship, eat dinner, eat pizza, have a few drinks, and go to bed, right? Whereas you would have to have paid. I mean, I don't know. Can
I can't. I mean, to me, it's a great value. I'll fly into a place and $200 a night for a hotel, 150, $200 a night. Well, 3 or 4 nights in, it's like, man, I could have paid for a cruise.
Mhm.
I haven't bought food yet. I haven't, done it any kind of entertainment. If you want to go to a beach, well, if you want a beachfront property, well, that's going to cost. It's going to cost you. I mean, there's so many things. I think it's a great value. I think as more and more people cruise, supply and demand. If the demand outgrows the supply of rooms, we could see a sharp increase in prices, which is not good for people like me, or poor little me on a fixed income. I mean, come on, people, I can't. Maybe you need to stop cruising for a little bit so I can get lower prices. But anywho, um, it is a great value.
Yes. I mean, and I will say probably the next closest is going to be an all inclusive, because there are some things that are included in all inclusive. But again, you're still waking up in the same place. It still may be a value vacation for you. And I'm not saying that it's not. However, I think, in my opinion, the best value vacation is to cruise right now and book a cruise maybe for 2024 when the prices are still somewhat reasonable, as far as booking 6 to 12 months in advance. So what did June say here? She said, tell Brady to focus on loose slots and not. Oh, God.
June, don't worry. I'm sure Brady's going to be. He's going to be in the chapel on board the ship. Don't worry. He's going to get his.
Yes, exactly, Felicia. Exactly. So fun for Brady. Thank you for coming on in, Granny. Yeah, we are also wrapping up here.
Bye, Granny.
That was our number 5. And again, this is just Bill and myself top 5 reasons to cruise now. It doesn't mean they're right. It doesn't mean they're wrong. It's just simply our opinions and our views of 5 reasons why we think you should cruise now, because we love cruising. Both of us absolutely love cruising. So let's see here. What do we have? We want to go right into the back in the day, Bill?
Yeah, I know. Some of us have to have a cruise to go get ready for, so we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this up.
I have to get
Sea tripping with Kim and Scott. Welcome in.
Yes, welcome on in. I'm so surprised nobody has called me out in like 2 weeks that you need to get your hair, because man, I can't believe you guys.
Scott, I was going to mention that, but I said no, man. I said maybe he's going for a new look or something.
I never have a beard. Oh my God! Next time, guys, call me. Next time, call me. Okay. So let's do this here.
What's the question? Back in the day. What's the question, Scott?
Wait. Hold on. You know,
back in the day with Bill W.
Yeah. I got the soundboard now. We can't escape
right.
We can't escape that. So the back in the day with Bill question is, let's see. What was one of your favorite entrees on the dinner menu or the lunch menu for Carnival that is no longer served?
Oh, that's easy. They actually, like on some of the Journey cruises, they brought it back. Beef Wellington. I love the beef Wellington on the cruise ship. And when I went on that journey, the 22-day cruise, or 21-day cruise, they had it. And it was delicious. It wasn't quite as good as I remembered it, but I love it. Beef Wellington, no, hands down, no doubt about it. Beef Wellington.
Okay, so you stole mine. So I love the beef Wellington. It is no longer served, unfortunately. However, okay, so I'm going to go off the top of my head. I'm going to go with the dessert, and I've said this before, and it's my favorite dessert, probably the only dessert that I'll eat on board, but baked Alaska. And I know some cruises have brought it back, but not all cruises have brought it back. But if you put baked Alaska in front of me, I will always eat it. I promise you that. And it's somewhat served. It's not always served. But yeah, beef Wellington. I mean, I wish
the Bake Alaska on Carnival, Bake Alaska. They do the parade with it. Do you like that parade with your Bake Alaska going around the whole dining room?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Just bring me my baked Alaska now. Don't parade it around the whole dining room first.
It melts then too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Awesome. Well, this is kind of going to segue into our next episode. I will be on the Carnival Luminosa for our next episode. So let's hope that the Wi-Fi is good. But this is going to piggyback on how to eat like a celebrity on your cruise. Your little new menu of Carnival, how I ate like a celebrity, what the new things were, what some celebrities on the ship ate like.
I'm going to have to think about this one.
You good one.
Really? Okay, that's a good topic. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Little curveball for you guys. So hitting the foodies kind of where it right in the heart there. So I hope all the foodies for cruising shows up, and everybody that loves our show. We will be back on, I believe, our regular time, right? Next week, Bill?
Should be regular time next week.
Regular time next week. So we will see you. Thank you, everybody that makes it
Oh,
into the
1 second, but let me put one plug.
Yep.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna do my show alone, solo, Banter with Bill at 5 o'clock Eastern time, and I'm gonna be talking about solo cruising, the pros and cons of solo cruising. And we kind of talked about it last night on Ocean to Ocean, but I'm gonna go a little deeper into solo cruising on whys and why nots of the solo cruising world. That's it.
I promise you, I was not going to let us go off air without you saying that. So, but yes,
It sounded like it.
make sure to get in the banter with Bill tomorrow, and I will be there in the chat, bantering along with everybody. But thank you so much, everybody, for showing up in this early time, a little bit special time. So anybody who did make it in live, thank you so much. Absolutely special to us. Everybody who watches this on the replay, absolutely special to us. And any of those first-time cruisers out there, feel free to reach out. Any of the seasoned cruisers, feel free to reach out. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Any last words, Bill?
No, that's it. Yeah, just do. Feel free to reach out, and if it's a topic you want us to talk about, let us know. We anything about cruising, we're pretty versed on it. So if it's something that you guys want to talk about, let us know.
That's right. We'll be right here again next Wednesday. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.